There we go. Let's try that. Sorry. What a way to start, eh? Honestly. Good evening and welcome to After Hours. My name is Sean. You are very welcome to this if you're watching. If you're not watching, then I hope you're having a good evening. It's light. I'm in a room that is bright. I am no longer a funny colour, although my camera still makes me look so pasty, but it is daylight outside still, so I have an evenly lit face. It's those little things to be happy about, isn't it? As we start our service, as we start our time together,
How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son to make a wretch His treasure. How great the pain of searing was. The Father turns His face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory. Shoulders, ashamed, I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held Him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. I know with all my heart. His wounds have paid my ransom. But this I know. But this I know with all my heart. His wounds have paid my ransom.
I am back, and this time you can hear me. Well, good evening again. I love that song. That's a great, that was one of our earlier recordings that we did last summer. But that's a great revisiting of an old hymn. So, in case you didn't get anything before, you should join us over on Slido.com now. Use the code SGSG. And we're going to start taking a look at some of your suggestions on what you would like to do when restrictions relax. Okay, so get yourself over to Slido.com. Let me just get it up for you there. We've had 2 come in so far. Having a cuppa with people. Oh yes, people that aren't the people in your household. That will be the most exciting part of that. Cup of coffee, cup of tea. What's the preference? I was out this week. I went for a walk. It was nice to see someone have a cuppa. It's the first time I'd done that. Seeing friends in person, exactly, and being able to actually sit still with them rather than have to walk and constantly just kind of look at the side of each other's faces. Going for a walk with someone is nice, but it's much nicer when you can find a point out walk and you sit down and you chat, and that's when you do that. To find someone's doorstep, to find someone's back garden to sit in from tomorrow will be great. As long as we stay safe, obviously. If no one else wants to contribute to that, that's fine. This is the weird thing with After Hours. We started it with a bit of energy and, everyone's a little bit knackered these days. I get that. For some reason, recently we've had maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 viewers during After Hours. But still, for some reason, there are about 30 unique viewers afterwards on YouTube. So, hello to all the hordes of you who are watching this afterwards. I don't know what enticed you to join this, but thank you. Makes it feel a little bit worth it. Yeah. Well, let's move on then to the poll, which we'll leave up running. What would you like to talk about tonight? Transport. This is obviously the based on the story that the ship Ever Given is trapped in a canal in Egypt. Has been for a while, might be for a little while longer. Or daylight saving time. 2 possible things to talk about, because today is obviously so nice. We have our brighter evenings. And do you want to talk about whether it's worth it or not? So I will leave that up as we go on, and you can give that a vote as to what we chat about a bit more at the end. So we move on to this week's sermon. Which was brilliantly led by Tom. It's been great to be able to, I feel like Tom and Lynn are our new celebrity church power couple. All the things they've done have been absolutely brilliant. It's been great to hear them both preaching. I also hear them both sharing, Tom sharing the other week about the work he's doing as well. So great people. But we had another great talk which hints a lot around the idea of having faith. When to have faith, how we have faith, what is faith. We talked about it a bit last week, Avril did, as we talked about Lazarus and whether, how did faith exist in the middle of a difficult time. And Tom picks up some of the similar themes this week of what faith looks like in difficult times. So obviously he's talking about, the events leading up to what we remember and celebrate at Easter. So take a look at this clip of Tom.
We often think we know better than God. We want to fix things now, but God sees things from an eternal perspective. He truly knows what is best for us. And as she said, it's easy to believe when God is answering our prayers, when he turns up when we want him to. But faith only really becomes faith when God doesn't do what we want him to do. Do we have the faith to follow him anyway? Do we trust him even? especially when things don't turn out the way that we want. Like the crowd who gathered to welcome Jesus into Jerusalem, our understanding of Jesus is way too narrow. We want Jesus to do in our lives. Jesus wants us to be king of our whole lives, and the healing that he brings is complete, physical, emotional, and spiritual. But we need to lay down our own agendas. His will, not ours. I hope and pray today that God will open our eyes to see the fullness of God's promises, to place our lives wholly in his hands, so that we can experience how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ.
A great point raised by Tom there. And again, really important as to how we should engage with our faith and how we should engage with God. And actually, it's about bringing God more into the parts of our lives that maybe we don't normally bring God into. And perhaps that's a challenge to you as we move out of this period of restrictions and back into the wider world. Perhaps your faith at this time has been something deeply personal to you, which it should be, rightfully so. But we haven't really had a chance to share and demonstrate Jesus to others at this time. You know, the church hasn't even had any baptisms and many baptisms or celebrations that others could come to. So maybe as you go back out into the world, have a think. How can you take your faith with you into your walks with friends, into your visits to the pub, the cups of tea that you might have with others, afternoon tea perhaps? But how does your faith go with you into those situations? Now, we're not talking about in every situation getting up on a soapbox and preaching to your friends and family. That's not what we're talking about. We're told to always to preach Christ crucified, to share about what Jesus has done. We do that so much through our actions as well as through our words. But that's just about the evangelism. But when it comes to our faith, it's like, how do we bring God into those situations which we might see as simple or mundane? How do we invite God into those? It's about, before you're going on a walk, it's having a quick pray and a quick chat with God, going, God, please let there be something really fruitful and useful come out of this conversation, whether that's for me or someone else. And God, be with us while we walk. Be with us while we drink our tea. And having that prayer, having that faith that God will be with you, that God will move in those conversations, could cause a fairly decent transformation in your chat and what goes on. So give it a try. See what happens. Right, well, it has been an interesting term, hasn't it? We head up to Easter next week. We head up to our return to church. So this will be our last after hours. We started in January with a huge session together, which included such clips like someone explaining why they even came to after hours in the first place.
There were two reasons I was there, really. One was to make my wife happy, and the other was to get out of the house and away from the children.
And we've spent some time analysing people's movements and taking the mick out of them. I don't know if you remember this situation as we analyse Nico's walk. Still a decent model. Can't get it out of your head. Definitely think he looks more like the penguin. I managed to take the mick out of myself as well. I think that's this clip. Oh, see, now I've got lots of clips lined up and I'm not really quite sure which one does what. Let's try this one.
So hello and welcome to the 5 o'clock service, Sunday the 21st of February, or the 3:30 in the afternoon on a Monday if you're watching this on catch up, or whatever time it is. So whatever time it is, you're very welcome to today's service. Nico's going to be speaking to us. Sean is going to be leading worship for us.
If that doesn't give you an example of how things sometimes don't always go all right on the night, I don't know what is. I remember back to one of our first services. Not one of our first services. I think it must have been was it April or May? Basically when we had disaster day in terms of streaming our services. where we fired everything up in the morning, tested it, and then when we went to press play, we didn't have any sound. That was one of the... well, to this day, still don't know what went wrong. Still don't know what happened. But we've got things a little more stable since then, and any other mistakes just tend to be now from tiredness, exhaustion, fatigue, repetition, wanting to get back into the real world and find some a renewed passion for life and faith. I think we're all in that situation, aren't we? Just a bit of change. Feel like we're waiting for something, nothing. Yeah. So it'll be really good to get back. And thank you to those of you who've been so patiently joining in with After Hours. It's been lovely to have your company, to be honest, on a Sunday evening. To all 4 of you who are currently watching. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to our topic of conversation for tonight, which will be decided here. Okay, we have the answer is transport. No votes for talking about daylight saving time, but votes for talking about transport. Great. I can't wait to talk about transport. Has anyone been on public transport since the pandemic begun? I have been once on public transport. I went down to Guildford to meet someone for lunch at the end of the summer. But I'm pretty sure that was the only... Yeah, that's the only time I've been on public transport since the pandemic began. I know right at the beginning we were about to go away on retreat for just overnight down the West Country somewhere. So all that kind of got called off. That was one of my the trips I was most looking forward to, just to spend a quiet night away. But hopefully that'll happen again sometime soon. Although at that point that would be me trying to escape from baby. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be comfortable enough to get back on a crowded mode of transport at some point. Who knows? Who knows? To be fair, I think I'm going to leave it there. I don't think we have much more to say tonight. Thank you for those who've been faithful to the end. Let's join back with everything with passion. And we'll celebrate Easter together next weekend. Yeah. And obviously I feel like I need a rest by the looks of it. So yes, nothing more to add. Thank you to those of you who've been watching and joining in. Let us know what we can do for you. Lots of us, we're just scrambling around trying our best and trying to work out how to interact with you. We're asking you questions. We try some things. We keep going at it for a while. But yeah, let's see if we can work out how to try and change our community, our church, God's church, together in the future for something that really engages everyone. Yeah, let's end with another song of worship, shall we? Let's celebrate. This is one of the favourite ones, and this is a song you will definitely hear next Easter Sunday. Make sure you're booked on for Easter Sunday evening. The contemporary services, we've got the 5 p.m. and the 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is going to be a little bit more lively than the 5 p.m. So if you're a young person, young adult, then recommend you come along to that. Yeah. Oh, hang on. We do have a late submission for Pet of the Week, actually. I'm going to get this up quickly. This is a creature I've not seen for a while. Person who submitted it, can you tell me whether or not this is a recent picture or not? Because I thought the pet in question was long gone, which would be quite awkward. So can you drop me a quick message and let me know whether this is true and accurate, of whether this is a current pet? You know who you are. I'll put it up in a second as I multitask my way through. I should definitely become a streamer. I'll try and become a streamer at some point in my life. But here, take a look at... Wait a second. No, I just named the pet. the name of the person who sent it to me, which is wrong, and that would be quite cruel on the person who sent it to me. This is Kyle. Not the person, but the creature on the head. If you can see, if you can see that, that is Kyle. Let me zoom in a little bit. Kyle the pigeon. Congratulations, Kyle. You win our last ever pet of the week. Yes, correct. This is from ages ago. Not really a pet pigeon, just a pigeon that seemed to make its home at this person's house. But you know, we all need friends. Why not? So there you go. Thank you. You're great. We appreciate you. Yeah. Great. Let's carry on the good life, the good work. I don't know why the stream audio and video is dodgy tonight either. But let's watch a final song of worship together. Thank you for joining After Hours. You've been great. And onwards and upwards. On to the next thing that we do as a community. Stay connected with each other. Stay connected with church. Stay connected with me. If you have ideas, share them. If you've got something you want to do, let us know and we can grow it together. But let's be community. Let's be God's church here in Ashtead and the surrounding areas going forward. And let's have a great spring and summer. I'll see you on Thursday. If you want to come to the Maundy Thursday Journey, that is a stream. That'll be live streamed on Thursday night, 7:30. Otherwise, Sunday night, as I'm hosting the service that will be live at St George's. And you can come in person. The links are on our website. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
The nations bow, mountains shake at the sound of just one name. Over all, Jesus reigns. I know.
Nations bow, mountains shake at the sound of just one name. Over all, Jesus reigns. I know. Psalm
24 says, who is the King of glory? He's the Lord strong and mighty, the Lord who is mighty in battle. So lift up your heads, O gates, be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Let's sing to him. There is the King of glory, there is the God who saves, one who is strong and mighty. Freedom is in his name, so open the gates of heaven, lift up a shout of praise. There is a lion roaring, Jesus the King of glory. Oh, there is a lion roaring, Jesus the King of glory.